everybody. Welcome to Mid-America Dirt. I'm Skip, and I am super excited to be joined by Brandon and Brody Smith, Batesville, Arkansas. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing good. Wishing it warm up a little bit. I don't know about how it is down there in Batesville, but up here in northeast Oklahoma, it got cold on us kind of.
Yeah, it got pretty cool today. Cold and wet.
Hey, it's May. I mean, god dang, you're supposed to be running around, sweating like a pig in shorts and a T-shirt, and I'm, up here wearing a hoodie.
In May, you never know. It may rain. It may get cold. It may be hot.
Yeah. Hey, it ought not be pretty bad in the pits down there at Batesville this weekend. Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't be too bad. It looked pretty wet earlier when I went by there, so hopefully it'll dry up a little bit and warm up just a little. The weather looks like it's going to be amazing for the weekend.
Yes, it does. 100%. We were talking about this before I started. It's going to be Smith Takeover week on Mid-America Dirt, and I had Garrett on last night from Georgia, the late model driver. A young guy from over there, and I think he said he went to Batesville one time for one of the Toplesses, and he said it was hot. I said, yeah, that Topless race in the pits, it is hot. Yeah. All right, so you guys are from Floral, right?
Yes, we're just south of Batesville, Floral, in that area. Actually, where I live at now is actually a Batesville address, but we're closer to Floral than we are Batesville.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about there. My folks and my dad's folks from just south of there. Actually, they were born and raised, before Garrett's Ferry Lake was made. They're actual little hometowns in the middle of the lake now, where they're from. So
I heard a few people.
Yeah, I know it pretty good, man. I know that area pretty good. Batesville's always been home for me, home track, and I'm excited to get you on here because Brandon, I know I've heard a lot about you, and Brody, I don't know a lot, so I know you're probably just getting started out, right?
Yeah, I think this is my third year in an actual car.
He's probably raced a total of 15, 20, 25 races, and he's really improving leaps and bounds way more than I ever did when I started.
This year I've moved up to the IMCA modifieds, mainly because costs and everything. I was running the Midwest, and I moved up to the IMCA mods because payout is better, and you're paying for the same parts either way, just with that little bit extra pay at the end of the night.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, at Batesville, the Midwest mods and the IMCA mods, both of them have great competition. So either class is going to be real competitive. They're tough.
Yeah. Now, IMCA mod, that's an A mod, right?
Yes, sir.
For people who don't know. Okay. All right. Just wanted to get that out there. So what's the difference in between it and, let's say, USRA? So I've asked this several times. Let me ask you guys, what's the difference in between that? Do you know?
The main thing on IMCA versus USRA is basically tire rules and then motor rules.
Okay.
IMCA which they opened up, they've got a new spec motor, they call it this year. I don't know a whole lot about it, but most people are running the 604 crates that have to be sealed, IMCA sealed, so they can't go in there and change them up or do any improvements to them. And that was supposed to be kind of a cost-effective deal. And the thing I really like most about it, they've gotten a little bit more expensive over the years, but they seem, and I'm knock on wood, I'll probably mess one up this weekend, but they seem to be real reliable motors. They seem to last a while.
I gotcha. How bad is Batesville on motors?
It can be pretty abusive on them. That a couple weeks
Wide
ago,
open.
Batesville, and when it's got the moisture to it, I'm not going to say there's not tracks out there that are as fast or a little faster, but it does get fast. And with the weather we've been having a couple weeks ago, boy, we had a whole bunch of rain right before the races, and they probably should have rained them out. But Mooney and Keith, they really pushed to get the races in because we'd missed quite a bit. And they did a really good job getting everything prepared, but boy, that track was just hooked up, and it was a little rough, but it was trying on the motor on that deal.
How is I haven't talked to anybody who's actually, well, I have, but I haven't heard a lot about it, but how's the track now that they've put some more dirt on it?
Last weekend, it was exceptionally well. They finally have had time, and the weather kind of worked out and cooperated with them, and Money's guy, Miguel, that does that track, does an excellent job. And they finally got it last week. It was really smooth. It could have used a little bit more lanes, but I'm telling you, it was way better than it was a couple of weeks before when they had all the moisture. And nobody, I'll be honest with you, last week's race, nobody will complain about it as good as it was. If it stayed that good or better, I'd be tickled to death all year.
Is it quite a bit different than it was before, like last year or times before?
A little bit, there's a few places that still have a little bit of ripples in them where they hadn't got it ironed out with, kind of high going into 3. And other than that, a couple other little spots, it just kind of messes you up or messes me up because I kind of like to run a little bit high sometimes. And it's kind of hits you and loosens you up getting in the turn, which the dirt is a little bit different dirt than kind of what they've had, but it's turning out. They've got it cleaned up and it's starting to work out pretty good.
Okay. And then, so Brody, you're racing mod this weekend?
Yes, sir.
And Brandon, I heard through the grapevine that you're going to be in a late model this weekend.
We're probably going to pull double duty. If I can get enough help, which normally I have quite a bit of good help. We're going to run the modified and the late model this weekend, hopefully.
Okay. All right. Good deal. So let's get started with this. Brandon, how did you get into racing?
Well, years ago, Tosh had come along and he was trying to get my dad to sponsor him some in race cars. And he started helping him some, and I kind of grew to like it and finally got me a car and got started, which that was 96, 97. But
what'd you start out in, Brandon?
I probably started about 98, 99, racing just a little bit.
Okay. What'd you start out in?
I started out in it was a Lincoln Continental. It was a Superstars clad. And that thing, it was only a 2-door, but it was long. You could turn it sideways and nobody could pass you. And I do believe me and that car didn't quite get along. I don't know. The first couple nights out, it wouldn't run because the carburetor was all messed up. And you could just put it on the floor and just go around. Didn't even have to lift. Well, Richie told Dad, so you're going to have to do something. That boy's carburetor ain't right. So he goes out, and I'll never forget it. It was a Holly 4-barrel double pumper put on there. And I'm telling you, that thing came alive. I tried to go in the first turn wide open and turned it sideways and run over the inside wall, tore the whole front off the car. And then next week, we ended up bungee cording the radiator in just to get us by because we didn't have enough parts and pieces. And I'd be darned if I didn't do about the same thing the next weekend, and it saved the radiator. The time before, it ruined the radiator, but this time it saved it because the bungee cords give a little bit and saved it.
I got you.
And then we tore it up so bad. I had a pair of vice grips. It shifted on the steering shaft like they put them in gear. It did that, and I broke it off. We had vice grips on it to shift gears. It was kind of a thrown together piece of junk, but boy, it was fun.
I bet it sounds like it was fun. So I know when were you Comp Cams champion?
It was 2011.
2011.
Yeah, 2010, we started the series and won Rookie of the Year. I may be wrong. I think we finished somewhere around 6 or 8 in the points. And then in 2011, we had a lot of good luck and consistently finished well, won 2 or 3 races and won the championship in 2011. In 2012, we ended up tying for the championship. John Mitchell ended up having one more win than me, so that was a tiebreaker. So I ended up finishing second to him.
I got you. So what years did you run Comp, Brandon?
We run 2010 through probably 2016 maybe. And my sponsors, I had a lot of good sponsors back then, and their money kind of got tight about the time my money got tight, and I was having to work a lot more. So we decided we'd pull back and just start racing at home again. And there was a couple years in there we didn't race a whole lot. We still raced about every year, but we're starting to get back in it. And my son's pushing me harder than ever because a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I let him in the car. So they're all my family, my friends, everybody's pushing and helping. So I guess we're going to be back in it for a little while anyways.
Heck yeah. Tell folks, we talked about this last night. I mean, how expensive is it to even run a regional series? How tough is it?
It is extremely expensive. It's not bad if you've got a decent car to start out with, but if you're starting from scratch and trying to build a new car, I've been trying to build I've got a new modified. I'm hoping we'll have it out. It's a Pike Fab chassis. Hoping we'll have it out in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And it's took me over a year to get it put together financially and, just time and effort. And I've had to pull other people in and have them help me do bodies and stuff. It's just a lot of work and a lot of money. If you build a car from the ground up, it's easy excess of $30,000. And that's before motor or carburetor. It's really expensive. Now you can go out there, for perfect example. The car I'm running right now, it's like a '08 or '09 Shaw car, really good old car. Uh, when I totaled out my newer car a couple years ago, my son drug it out of the back of the shop, and didn't have a lot of races on it, but we put the motor in it and took it down to Shaw's, and they helped me do some changes, Travis Ashley and their bunch down there, Kevin. And we've got this thing. I mean, we've won several races in it, and I really hate to even get out of it. But you could buy a car like that, without a motor for 8 to 10 grand, and buy you a motor and for less than $20,000 go racing with it. And it's still not going to make you a bunch of money, but hobbies aren't cheap most of the time.
Yeah, that's one thing. Has it ever made you anybody money, or has it ever been not expensive?
Yeah, never. There's some of the big time guys that got a lot of people backing them. And don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of good help and a lot of good sponsors. But some of them big name guys just running full time and got sponsors throwing money at them, pay for their motors, everything. I mean, they can make some money. I mean, those guys are going to some events and bringing in over $100,000 just off of apparel sales that week.
Yeah, I bet 100%. I bet it's going to happen this weekend for one or two.
Oh yeah, they'll do pretty good. The Bad Boy 98 has always pushed and always tried to be bigger and better, and it is a great event. They've had a lot of problems with it, the weather mainly over the years, and that's hurt car count and the fans some. But this weather this weekend is looking good after they get this dried up, and that and the Topless, they do pretty good with it. It ought to be an exciting weekend.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of folks, man, who are excited about that Topless, and everyone knows about it. I mean, it is definitely a crown jewel. Everybody knows about it. I've talked to several people, to see if they're coming this year. So I'd like to. I'm excited about that one, but I'm also excited about this one coming out, the Bad Boy, because I think it's been Topless 100 last year before the last time I was down there. So I'm excited to get back down there, man.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know how many people are going to be there that I've had on the show.
It's going
to be fun, man. It's going to be hard to keep up with.
Yeah, they've got a great title sponsor. Bad Boy is a great sponsor for them. I hear they take their drivers.
That's an Arkansas company, and buddy, I mow with an attitude every time I get on there. I'll tell you right now, every time. I've definitely got a Bad Boy here, and I wouldn't have anything else. 100%.
I've got an old one, and it's still holding together and still kicking.
Yeah, I hear you. I got a special edition. I got one of them ZT Elites is the last one I got, man. It's sweet now. Black, orange. Man, it's souped up. I like it.
Absolutely. I've talked about getting me a new one, and I think they'd help me out a little bit on it, at least maybe give me a decent deal on it, but I just can't hardly part with that old ragged one I got.
I got you. So, Brody, you got into it about 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, about 3 years ago, I got a Camaro for Christmas. And we slowly worked on it, worked out some of the kinks, and then at play day, I went out there just to kind of fill it out. It didn't have a nose, a hood, didn't have anything, but just to kind of fill it out. I was running 8-inch modified tires, and I ran those tires for probably half the season.
He probably ran them 6 or 8 races. It's hard for him not to run those, and that's kind of why we moved him out of the hobby into the modified stuff, because he's, we've got all these, hand-me-down tires that come off Dad's car, and it's a lot cheaper to do that than going and trying to find. It's hard to
Oh
find
yeah.
asphalt pull-offs like they run.
And I would like to give a special thank you to Ledgerwood Trucking, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a car to drive. They stepped up and they which they've helped me for years, and they offered me the car. It was chassis, nothing other than it had trends. The only thing it didn't have is the motor. And they said, come get it and run it. If you tear it up, we'll fix it, and you have it for as long as you need it. Which
Heck
that
yeah.
was a really big help.
Yeah, Donnie and Beverly Ledgerwood are great people. He's driving an old car that I used to drive for him years ago, and actually this other old car I'm driving right now, they helped me build it and got me a motor and stuff for it years ago. But they offered to let him run that car, and that's the only way. It's a great old car. I mean, I've probably won as many races in that car he's driving now than I have any car that I've ever had.
No joke.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Well, that car, how many IMCA races have I ran this year? 3?
Yeah.
2. I didn't get to run the feature last weekend.
Yeah.
And I finished, I think it was 11th and 6th.
Yeah, the first time really he run the race for Hope at the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
As a IMCA mod, but the car wasn't really all set up right. We got in a hurry and tried to throw it together, but he made some good laps. And this year he's done really well. We've started getting it lined out a little more, and he's had help from some other people too. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, one
That's
of our
awesome.
good friends, Jeremiah Franks, he helps me out a lot. Any questions I ever have, I can pick up the phone and call him, or he's at the track every weekend there to help me.
Which
Yeah, that's
Jeremiah,
awesome.
for years and years and years back when I first started, he started helping me, and up until about probably 6-8 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, he's changed over to a different job, and he's not able to. He's out there anytime he can, but most of the time he stays busy and isn't able to go out there. But he's one of the biggest parts of where I am today.
Yeah. Man, it's awesome to hear about people, that support racing for sure. You know what I mean?
All right.
There needs to be a lot more. We need to get a lot more people that don't know
Yeah.
anything about it to get in there and help out. You know what I mean? And sponsor a car and help out with the team and stuff. It just need more. Just
Yeah,
need more. I
definitely.
mean, especially with the way the economy is today. I mean, the sport needs as much help as it can get, and the people doing it too. So that's awesome to
Absolutely.
see.
I couldn't do it without all the people that helped me. I've got a lot of good people that help, and that's what keeps us going.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. So Brody, do you plan on racing anywhere besides Batesville?
We're wanting to try to hit maybe Harrisburg, Crowley's Ridge, West Plains. I remember Dad, we were on our way up there one time. We had a flat on the trailer going up, and there was 3 or 4 people that stopped and helped us on their way up there. And we got up there, and I think you wound up second.
It's been a long time. Can't remember much.
That's awesome. West Plains, man, I can't wait to get over there and watch a race
I
again.
can't either. I love that place. That's one of my most favorite tracks I've ever been on.
Every guy I've talked to at racing around here loves West Plains. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't talked to anybody who said a negative word about it.
When Don and Bill Gibson had it, that was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I interviewed David Gibson. He said his dad, he just worked relentlessly on that track.
Oh, it was crazy. On big shows, as soon as the last flag fell, all the cars got off the track. He was on that grader. He'd go out there and grade it. You talk about smooth. You race all over it. That man, if everybody worked as hard as he did on the track, we'd all be in good shape.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he said. He said he just worked relentlessly on it and always kept it in really good shape. When's the last time you raced up there?
Well, it's been a while.
A firecracker.
Probably 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago.
Now, is that with the guy that owns it now?
Yeah, we did go run up there a few times. I'd like to go up there and support him some more because, I mean, that's a great place. And I mean,
tracks wouldn't be alive without people supporting them.
Yeah, and he's a great
bet.
guy. He does a good job and hustles at it. It's just the economy's been tough on that area.
Yeah, he got hit with a storm or something, didn't he? Isn't that kind of what
they had
happened there for a while?
Yeah, they had some storms come through, and I think two different times come through and tore quite a bit of the buildings and structures up. He's coming there and rebuilding and redoing. It's amazing all the work that's kind of like Batesville, you know, these two tracks, we'll be lucky if both of them can do as good as I'm hoping, because they're both putting all kinds of effort into them.
Yeah, 100%. And they're both historic tracks. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
There are tracks in this area, Batesville and West Plains. I don't care. Wheatland's really nice. I mean, that's great. But West Plains and Batesville are our area's two tracks.
Absolutely.
And I grew up right in between them. So, I mean, and flipping.
We were in good shape with them.
Yeah, and flipping. We'd head over to flipping every once in a while. It was pretty close too.
We've flipping a time or two. We've had some fun over there.
I wish somebody get it and you can get it going back up again.
I sure hope somebody will buy it and get it back going.
Now, that's something else I want to get with you about. I-30. How big was that shutdown for racing in Arkansas?
It was major for that area because, you know, we lost BB Speedway several years ago, and then they closed down, and there was a ton of people from that area, and a lot of them just folded out and quit. You know, a few of them came to Batesville, not a whole lot. $2 Pistol over at Plumberville picked up a lot of them. Texarkana with Tim Crawley taking it over. I think a lot of Little Rock's cars went to him, which at Texarkana is a great track, and Tim Crawley's really putting forth a lot of effort in it. I've got to get a chance to get down there and try to support them.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that guy, and I've never been to that track. I haven't been there yet, but it's going to happen this year. I'm going to get down there and see it. But
I've never took a modified there, but I run my late model there back when we were running, and I think I'd won a couple of shows, and I always did really well there. I think it kind of suited my driving style a little bit.
So is West Plains your favorite track, Brandon, besides Batesville?
Yeah, it probably is. When Don and Billy Gibson had it, it was my favorite track ever. You know, and it's still a great track, and Gary Stoble's going to get it back going good. It's just taking him a little longer because of all the storm damage, but it is a great track. I remember back when they had the show me there, and I was running modified, and it always slick over during the show me because there's so many late models. There'd be over 100 cars. And I never had a big motor back then in my modified. And at one time, I think we had won 8 out of 9 of the modified features during the show me because it just slick over, and we just had a good car for up there, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Brody, for you, have you raced anywhere but Batesville yet?
No, I've only raced at Batesville. Planning on trying to hit quite a few more this year, just to kind of get more experience, more lap time, stuff like that. Because don't get me wrong, Batesville's a great track to learn on, but I would like to travel and get more experience at other tracks and stuff like that, and eventually go on like different surfaces, stuff like that, and go on and run more with like the bigger series, like USMTS, stuff like that in the future.
So are you going to stick with mods then? Are you going to be a mod guy?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Good deal. I ask that question a lot, man, like what the deal is. Usually everybody says late model, so it's kind of cool to see somebody, say, hey, that's USMTS, bigger mod stuff. That's what they want to do. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is for sure. Hell, man, there's stock car races down in Texas. I saw one. Is it this weekend or coming up? $30,000 for a stock car race.
That blew my mind. That's crazy. I think that stock car down in that area is big. I mean, they've had several shows.
Yeah, down there, Texarkana, Boot Hill.
I think Boot Hill. I can't think of where that other.
I can't remember that one's at.
Can't either.
But I know y'all have a stock car chassis builder down there, right? The Sullivans. Do they have that Cadillac chassis?
Yep, you got Jack Sullivan. They do the Cadillac chassis. They do a really good job on them. Boy, they're nice cars. You know, Fab, Tad and Farrell, they do do a lot of the stock car stuff. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the bigger classes in the upcoming stuff.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
if they go to paying a little more money, kind of like what they are down in Texas, I think it'll really help out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I talk about cost and all that stuff a lot, but that I guess even entry level is pretty expensive. Now, what's entry level now? Tanners and Crown Vics?
Yeah, the Crown Vic stuff, we don't really have that here. Basically they've got a front wheel drive class and hobby.
They got a cruiser class, which is
they call it cruiser class.
pretty much just the enduro cars.
Yeah, it's kind of
what you brung type deal.
Put a cage in it and knock the windows out of it, put some asphalt pull-offs on it to run them. Which it's hard to pick up. Used to, that was a really good class. We had what they call superstars, which is basically the same thing. And back in the day, you'd have 15 or 20 of them cars every week or more. And they kind of dwindled off, but I think they're back up over 10, 12, 14 cars now. It's a really good class, and there's a lot of good racing.
I think that class is one of the biggest classes we have at Batesville.
It's doing good.
Yeah. It needs to be something that people can afford, to get out there. Just regular folks get out there and do it. I mean, it's hard to do. I remember when I was young, it was the Bombers. You know what I mean? That was the Bomber. The Bomber class, and you had, I think maybe like street stocks. That was your Camaros, your souped up, more Camaros and stuff like that. And then they had the Sportsman late models, or the Sportsman class. They call it a Sportsman class. I don't know if you, I don't know if you remember that or not.
Basically, kind of like the late models now, but they had the factory stubs and
the Camaro front, like on most of them.
Yeah,
that round front. Because all the late models back when I was watching it, they were wedges.
Oh, golly, back in the day, did you ever see any of those ones with the huge big wings on them and all that?
Not personally.
Yeah.
I've seen
videos of them, they were coming in this area at one time, and we tried to go watch them. We wasn't able to make it, but man, I'm telling you, those are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what they experimented with back then, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I saw some with like sprint car wings on top of them.
Yeah, like big billboards on the side of them, on the top of them. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm glad that they got that kind of worked out. Yeah, it was. But anyway, so Brody, this weekend modified. Brandon, you may be pulling double duty modified late model. It's a bad boy.
Running the HB1 98. Yep, at the bad boy. Yes.
Yeah, Hunter Branscombe. Yeah, he told me. He gave me a preview on that. He said, I think I've got somebody good going to be in my late model.
I don't know if I'm as good as I once was, but we'll sure give it a shot.
Well, I'll tell you this. When I interviewed Jeff Aiken, he said that he raced you last year. He said it's one of the best cleanest races he's had racing against you in that late model last year.
Well, I definitely appreciate him saying that. I pride myself in trying to race people clean. You know how it is. Sometimes things just happen, and
you can't.
If somebody does roughly dirty too many times and I get tired of it, I will retaliate, but I don't like to do that. I like to race clean and have a good time. I don't like working on race cars if I don't have to.
I hear you. You got enough to do already. You don't need to be out there fixing a bunch of damage, do you?
Sleepily enough. I don't need any extra work.
All right. I hear you. Well, fellas, man, I appreciate y'all coming on here. It's super good to get to talk to both of you, and hopefully I get you on here again